Hi Free Yoga community, and welcome to Simply Yoga Asana, all about plank pose. This class really targets the core, the shoulders, and wrists, and would pair really well with our Simply Yoga Asana on crescent pose if you want a full body experience. I hope you enjoy. Let's find a comfortable seated position. Allow the spine to be nice and long. Closing the eyes, allowing ourselves a little bit of time to slow down. Allowing the inhales and exhales to get a little longer, a little deeper. And whatever thoughts come up, just inhaling them in. And exhale and see if you can let them go. Whatever comes up next, inhaling it in. And like a bird crossing a blue sky that leaves no trace, exhale and let the thought go. Take a deep inhale in, let the belly, the whole diaphragm fill up the spine, reach a little bit longer. And then exhale and let it all relax. We'll find our way out onto our mats in a tabletop and then down to our elbows with our elbows right under our shoulders, our palms spread, the shoulders rolling back, pulling the heart forward with the tips of the fingers, tucking the chin slightly, feeling long through the spine, and then using the strength of our shoulders to gently press away from the ground as we pull the heart forward, and then a nice gentle breath of fire. Closing the eyes when you have a rhythm, turning the gaze in and up, and let each exhale, each bounce of the diaphragm lengthen the spine a little bit more, like the crown of the head is trying to float away. Take a huge inhale in. Hold the breath at the top. Press down with the tops of the feet. Activate the legs. And open the mouth. Let it out. We'll interlace the fingers except for the pinky. And we're going to tuck our toes. And inhale up for forearm plank. And find long inhales and long exhales. And just notice where the thoughts are. Notice the focus. And come back to the breath. Starting to wake up the shoulders, the core, the focus. Anytime, if you need to, throughout our class today, you can place the knees down, but keep pulling the elbows toward the knees, keeping the core engaged, trying to get the center of the back high. And then we'll all place our knees down, coming up to our hands for a tabletop. And we'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. And exhale in reverse. Take a few nice slow cat-cows. The pace of your own breath, taking this opportunity to really spread the fingers, pressing down with the whole palm, feeling that firm foundation. Let the spine come back to neutral. You can either walk the hands a little bit closer to your knees or a little bit farther away. Closer is easier, farther away is going to be a little more weight. And at the same time as we inhale, we'll lift the heels of the hands. And exhale and slowly lowering them down, working on that wrist strength. Inhale coming up. Nice and slow, controlled and even. And exhale, grounding down, pressing the whole palm into the floor. A few more, inhaling up, nice and slow. And exhale and letting it down. Angling slightly out, about 45 degrees, and the same, inhaling and exhaling down. And turning in about 45 degrees. Same idea, inhale, press and lift, nice and slow. And exhale, releasing down. And place the hands out right underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes hip distance apart. Lift the hips up and back. And come into our first downward facing dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Really spreading and pressing into the hands. Now straightening the legs out. Sinking the hips back, sinking the heart toward the toes, really focusing on opening up the shoulders more than anything else as we spread the fingers even more, trying to straighten the arms as much as we can, pressing away from our hands, sinking the heart toward the toes, try and open up all the way through the shoulders, all the way to the tips of the fingers. Same long inhales and long exhales. And from our downward dog, we will inhale forward to plank. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale through and up your back bend of choice, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale back, downward facing dog, moving through a few vinyasas. Inhaling forward. Exhale fully all the way down. Inhale through and up. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Waking up the body, waking up the breath. Just noticing where you are today. Wherever you are, do one more, and we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. And then we'll inhale forward, and we'll exhale down to our backs. Our hands down by our sides, pressing down into the earth. We'll lift that right heel straight up into the sky. We can bend the knee if we need to. And really try and press that heel up as best we can. And then lift the left heel just a few inches up off the earth. And then we will inhale, bringing both feet through center. Exhale, the left heel high, right heel low. Inhale as we switch. Exhale, right heel high, left heel low. Moving with our breath, inhaling, switching. Exhale, pressing the heels as long as we can. And be here for just a little while, moving nice and slow with control. On our next exhale, we'll exhale both feet down and float. Take an inhale in. Exhale, lift both feet up. Inhale, float the feet. Exhale, lift up for boat. You can bend the knees or straight legs. Inhale, drop. Exhale, lift both feet. And inhale, drop. Exhale, up for boat. Inhale, float. Exhale, lift both legs. Inhale, float. Exhale, boat. A few more. One more inhale. Hold the breath at the top. And then exhale. And release down into your mat for just a moment. Feeling the heat that we've generated. And the difference in your breath, your focus, and thoughts. And then we'll flip back over. Coming back up into tabletop. With the hands right under the shoulders. Knees right under the hips. And then this time we're going to tuck the toes using our core, and we will lift our knees just an inch up off the earth. Deep breaths. Same long inhales, long exhales. And then we'll lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. A few deep breaths, lengthening through the whole body. And then with our heart sinking toward our toes, start to sit down toward our heels so that our knees float just an inch up off the earth, and we're pressing back toward those heels. Again, deep breaths. And place the knees down. Keep the toes tucked, and we'll sit back on our heels. So be sure that all the toes are involved. The little pinky toe sometimes likes to not be part of the stretch. And we'll send the knees a little farther out in front of us to really open up the toes and the backs of the feet. And then our hands come out in front of us, fingers pointing up. And we'll take an inhale in, pulling the hands in, rolling the wrists. And exhale, open the palms down, the fingers down, pressing out. Inhale, pull in, roll the wrists, fingers pointing up, and press as we exhale. Inhale, pull in. Fingers point down, press, and exhale. A few more. Inhale, pull in, roll the wrists, exhale. Moving with your breath. One more inhale. Exhale and press. And place the hands down. Untuck the toes. Take the knees out to the edge of your mat with the big toes together. And reach out nice and long for a little child's pose. And we'll be moving into a nice long plank pose. And throughout this pose, make any adjustments that you need to. You can come down to your forearms, make fists with your hands if your wrists start to bother you. Come down to your knees, but keep with your breath. Long inhales, long exhales. And just notice where your body is. And allow this plank pose to be strengthening, but also an exploration. Let's find our way up through tabletop. Let's just take a moment in tabletop to really set our foundation. Really see if you can feel the stacking of each joint, the shoulder over the elbow, over the wrist, on each side. Take the time to really spread from the pinky, through the ring finger, through the middle finger, through the index finger, and then get the thumbs reaching toward each other as best we can. With the feet hip distance apart, the knees slightly behind the hips. And let's tuck the toes, and we'll inhale up for our plank pose. Now, as we spend some time, as we sit in this pose, asana, to sit in something, just notice what the body does. What's the first muscle that starts to give out? Notice what the breath has done. Is it still coming long and deep? Notice if the pelvis starts to tilt, to give out, to dump into the low back and engage that core a little more, center of the back a little higher. See if you can feel your shoulders spreading away from each other as your thumbs try to reach toward each other. Same deep breaths. Maybe coming down to the forearms if the arms have started getting a little tired. And coming back in when we can. Maybe making fists with the hands if the wrists are starting to ache. Or bringing down those knees anytime that we need to, but still pulling the hands back toward the knees. strengthening the core, strengthening the shoulders, strengthening the breath, the whole body, the focus and concentration. I'll be here for another 30 seconds, so follow your breath, follow your thoughts, and let them go. One more huge inhale in. Hold the breath at the top, engage every muscle in your body. And when you just can't hold it anymore, exhale down one forearm at a time. Let's see if we can take 3 breaths in forearm plank. And on your final exhale, place the hips down, place the hands down. We're going to come right into a nice moving sphinx. So we're going to inhale, press out of the shoulders, shine the heart up. Exhale, drop into the shoulders, drop the head, drop everything down. Inhale, press out, press away, engaging the core, pressing down with the tops of the feet, pulling with the hands. And exhale, drop the head, sink into the shoulders. Be here for a little while, just moving with your breath. On your inhale, if you'd like to straighten your arms, that option is available if you'd like a little more of a back bend. On your next inhale, hold the breath at the top. And we'll exhale down to our backs. We'll pull that right knee into our chest. Pull it over the body with the left hand. Staying right here, straightening out that right leg. Bending the left knee, reaching for that left foot with the right hand. Just wringing out any resistances, any thoughts that are left. Allowing ourselves to come back. A simple inhale and simple exhale. And coming through center, pull the left knee in. Pull it over the body with the right hand. Staying here, straightening out the leg. Bending that bottom knee if you'd like. And pulling the knees into our chest. You can come into happy baby, insides of the knees to the outsides of the feet. Or if plow is in your practice, send the feet up and over. If you've come into plow and shoulder stand is in your practice, you take a little moment in an inversion. Just feeling all of that work from our Anamaya Kosha, our physical body, as it drains from our feet down to our spine and spills out the crown of our head. And wherever you are, begin to release out. Let the legs head out. The arms relax out, palms turning up. Tuck one shoulder blade and then the other. Feeling the body getting heavy. And as the body gets heavier and heavier and melts down, allow the mind to go with it. Getting heavier and heavier, slowing down with each inhale and each exhale as we give ourselves this little bit of time in Shavasana. You can stay right where you are, melting down into your mat. Or begin to gently activate the body, refocusing the breath, and finding our way back to that same comfortable seated position in which we started our journey together today. Wherever you are, staying focused on the breath, notice if we're sitting or lying down a little differently, if the breath is a little calmer, the thoughts may be just a little bit further apart. May you remember the strength in stillness, the power in listening, and the infinite possibilities of the unknown.